In this module, which is about advanced topics in functions, it's worth spending a little time understanding how MATLAB goes about searching for which function to call. And that has to do with the MATLAB path and the search priority. So how does MATLAB prioritize its search for functions or variables? Let's see what we mean by that. Terms on the right-hand side of an assignment operator always involve variables and/or functions. For example, look at this assignment and expression on the right-hand side. There are 5 words, I'll call them, mySign, hvar, a, bfold, dim, and b, that could be functions or could be variables in the workspace. And the question we're resolving here is, where does MATLAB look for these 5 items? The rules are as follows. First, MATLAB checks to see if the entity is a variable in the current workspace. And by current workspace, I mean the variables that would be listed if you issued a who or a whos command. If it's not found there, then MATLAB checks if the entity is a visible subfunction. We've learned about subfunctions. So a function in the same file as the file that's currently executing. If the item was not found as a variable in the current workspace or a visible subfunction, then the search continues in what are called visible private functions. Those are functions in the private folder of the directory of the currently executing function. Private is a special keyword in MATLAB used for folders to contain functions that can only be called by functions one folder above them. We won't spend too much time with these, but nevertheless, those functions take third priority in this search tree. If the item is not found there, then the class methods are searched. Methods are a special form of function that we'll learn more about in the object-oriented programming module. For now, let's skip that as well. The next place the item is looked for is a function in the current directory and folder. This is very common for all of you. When you're working on your homework assignment, you're very likely making a folder for the specific homework assignment, placing your files in there, and making sure that that folder is your current directory. That's why MATLAB finds your functions there. Lastly, if it hasn't been found, then MATLAB finally looks for functions in folders that are listed on the path. This path is also called the search path, and it's something you can control. Top of the path has higher precedence. The main message here, relevant to the manner in which you're using MATLAB right now, are that MATLAB searches in 3 places. First, is the item a variable in the current workspace? If not, is it a function in the current directory? And if it's not there, is it a function in a folder listed on the path? Now in this module, we also learned about subfunctions, and that also is a place that MATLAB searches. In fact, quite high on the priority list. There are some tools for managing the MATLAB path. The command path displays the search path for functions as a long character string. The path is returned as a char array by calling the path command with an output argument. Path can be set by passing a character array to the path command. The character array would list all the folders in the order in which they're supposed to be searched. Path arrays can be concatenated so that adding something to the current path is very easy. Simply call path to return the current path and add something at the end. Prepending, putting something at the beginning higher on the path, is also easy. Just put that first. There's other commands such as add path, remove path, and save path. You can learn more about these if you need to. The way you'll mostly interact with this is through the tool strip. There's several ways to access path management here. First of all, the current directory is always shown there, and the current folder is likely a window which I've minimized on the left. And remember that the current folder is one location that MATLAB looks for functions. In addition to the commands I listed on the previous slide, path, remove path, set path, and so on, that functionality can be accessed graphically from the Set Path button in the Home tool strip. Experiment with that. You can always return to the default path with a single click.